Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I want to show y'all exactly what I've been talking about and why I be talking the way that I do. And here, this is Dalil. And I'm going to get back to, the books and different things, man. It's just certain things that be needing to be addressed, especially for the community that I'm in. Look at this. So, today, let me blow that up. Let me try to get that in close. Right there, that's the moon from today. This is the second night. This is what the moon looked like on the second night. This is what the moon looks like on the second night. Another little close up. Let me see. This ain't Photoshop. This a real picture from today that was texted to me. And wallahi, I done talked to some other people and they seen it with their own eyes. They just didn't take no pictures, right? Them and their family seen it. So I'm mentioning that because for those who didn't start fasting today, Monday, and gonna start fasting tomorrow, Tuesday, y'all off by a day. Because y'all chose to not go with a Sharia-based Islamic moon sighting committee in a Sharia country based off a twisting of some athars that people done came up with. Yes, you should go try to look for the moon for yourself in your area, with your people, with your community. But if you don't see it and an Islamic Muslim committee does see it, according to the authentic hadiths, it's go time. Regardless to the ones who say the hadith on one person reported, you can't count that one because the Quran say you got to have two witnesses, which is an ayat that's referring to business dealings, right? And then another ayat where they talking about two witnesses if you divorce your wife, and has nothing to do with the moon sighting, right? Then there's the hadith that has the two. But regardless, we talking about a whole committee of more than two people who go through thorough examinations, not just Saudi Arabia, but all these countries, these Muslim countries that's under Sharia law, right? It's go time. So when they say that they see it, and then you say, no, that don't count for us because I'm in America, I didn't see it. Or like I say, they seen it in Florida. Oh, well, that don't matter. Although I'm in the United States, that don't work for me because I'm not in Illinois. I'm in Illinois. I'm in Indiana. I'm in New York City. It don't go like that. It don't go like that. But then these is trustworthy Sharia legislated in Sharia-based countries, Islamic moon sighting committees. You don't go with that, but then you go with a website that you don't even know if it's real or fake. That's tied into a ISNA body that goes off calculations. If you go to ISNA right now, matter of fact, you don't even have to go to ISNA anymore before, now that the way that they done came up with this algorithm and stuff. But you used to go to ISNA and type in Ramadan 2070. And it'll tell you, they got it calculated on what day Ramadan's supposed to start. But now you could just go straight to Google because the what they call it algorithm, type in Ramadan 2090. And it's going to give you a day for Ramadan. do the ISNA, who go off calculations anyway. Now, I'm going to close out, but I want to speak on the dangers of this. Like I said before, they don't go with it to start Ramadan, but when Ramadan get ready to end and Saudi Arabia say they see the moon for Shawwal, they stop fasting. So, on the 29th day, if these Muslim countries go out and spot the moon on the 29th day, where we done fasting, where we fast 29 days, guess what's going to happen to the ones who started a day late? And then they decide to end too. They only going to fast 28 days. If it happens this year, and I'm glad I'm documenting it this year, if it happens this year, this is going to be the third time I've seen them fall short some days. The other danger is the ones who don't really know the significance of Laylatul Qadr, who just who refer to it as the night of power, and they don't really know the significance of it. So they may feel like, and a lot of people know what I'm talking about, that Laylatul Qadr is only on the 27th night. So they don't do anything, but they make sure on the 27th night they pack the masjids out, they do ibadah all that day. But guess what? When they go look for it on the 27th day, it's really going to be the 28th day. Then the ones who know that Laylatul Qadr is going to be on an odd night, and they don't just do only on the 27th, some of them do the other odd nights, the 21st, the 23rd, 25th, 27th, and 29th. But guess what's going to happen because they're a day off? When they go to look on the 21st, it's really going to be the 22nd. When they go to look on the 23rd, it's really going to be the 24th. So when they get up to go out on these, what they thinking is odd nights, it's going to be wrong. And how does they off? Just think about it. Tonight is the second night, which is an even night. They think it's the first. So their Tarawih starts tonight. They think they on an odd night. Y'all starting Tarawih on the second day of Ramadan. It throws the whole month off. Now, the other thing is, if it was a trustworthy moon sighting committee, they would have came out and said, we made a mistake. We looked, we seen the moon tonight. It's the second night. So therefore, go ahead and start fasting, right? And then we got one day to make up when Ramadan is over because we missed the first day. But that's not going to happen because they haven't came out and said they made a mistake. So what's going to happen? So even if, now let's say for instance, we end up completing 30 days and they end. They only going to did 29 when they should have did 30 because they haven't been informed that they got to make a day up. And like I say, if it happened this year, this is going to be the third time I seen them only do 28 days. And it's going to throw off their Laylatul Qadr for the ones who don't get up and do something every single night during the last 10 days. If they just go out specifically for the 27th night or specifically to seek the odd nights, they're going to be off because they're going to be on even nights. And that's the dangers of trusting these websites and these fiqh councils that's been put together by people with money that ain't never studied no fiqh, ain't tied to no people who do fiqh. And unfortunately, that's how a lot of these masjids in America, I'm not knocking them, but a lot of these masjids, they consist of, the boards consist of doctors, engineers, people who came up in the Wharf Deen community. Not knocking the Wharf Deen community, and I'm not knocking these other things, but they don't have that Islamic education. Now, some of them, because they have the money, they come together and they hire imams. But the imam sometimes have to roll with a lot of stuff because they not the board. The board pays them. The board can decide whether they continue to be the imam then. So they might have an imam that's extremely knowledgeable. You know, to be honest with you, I've seen a prominent imam. A lot of people know him. Graduate with high degrees from the University of Medina. And I remember a year when, you know, he's a prominent imam of a masjid, but he don't run it. And he wasn't agreeing with this what they was trying to do with Ramadan. So he publicly didn't rock out with their decision because he was against it. I mean, he still did his job out there, but, you know, basically he started fasting and they didn't. You know what I'm saying? So, and a select few who rocked with him at that masjid, they started with him, but the majority of the masjid didn't. He spoke out against it, but, you know, a lot of imams don't do that. So, and I'm telling you, wallahi, I done seen with my own eyes where it was a time when I was fasting and I just went to the masjid because a couple of brothers I knew was going to be there. So I went thinking they was going to start Taraweeh for that first night, which was day 2. And I've been doing Taraweeh by myself for years. Like, wallahi, I just got me a whole new Quran. This like my 3rd personal one. I done gave them away. I'm gonna show it. Let me grab it real quick just to show it. I'm breaking it in right now. So I just got this baby a couple of weeks ago. As you can see how big it is. I got 2 more. I'm breaking it in right now. I'm still in Surah Al-Baqarah. Breaking this mug in. I do Taraweeh myself. So and I do Taraweeh myself because I do it in accordance with like Qiyam al-Layl. Like I do it late in the night. Based off the hadith. You know, this was when the Rasul really did it. And then when Umar decided to, you know, in the authentic hadith, although the Rasul did do it and let them be behind him for 3 nights, he put a stop to it. But at the end of that hadith, he said, if y'all want to do this prayer, do it at home. Some of them went home and started doing it, but some of them didn't. So some of them still came to the masjid. He didn't stop them. Then Abu Bakr didn't stop him. Sahih Bukhari, y'all can look these hadiths up, Arabic and English. So the numbers started to grow during the Khalifa of Umar. So when Umar came to the masjid one night, they were scattered in groups. Over here is one person doing Taraweeh by himself. Here's somebody doing Taraweeh by himself. Right here is one person with 3-4 people behind him. Over here is another group with 3-4 people behind him. And they like this, the ones who was lining up behind people, they didn't know enough Quran to do Taraweeh by themselves. So Umar seen the way it looked and he lined them up behind one person. Right? Alhamdulillah. So he lined them up behind one person. When he come back, and some of the things I seen in the Taqreed, why he lined them up, because I organized it. Look, he didn't want any kuffar seeing that, because the way masjids was back then, but I won't go into that, where people could see in them. You know what I'm saying? So, and he made it look neat and it looked organized. It wasn't sloppy looking. So when he come back the next night or a couple of nights afterwards, he had the same companion with him, and he looked at it and said, yeah, now this is a good thing. But he told his companion, which was beautiful, the prayer that they giving up, like right now, this prayer they doing, they should be at home sleep, waiting to do it during the third of the night. time you do Qiyam or Tahajjud. You know what I'm saying? So he said the prayer they giving up is far more superior than this one. It would be better for them to be doing that than to be standing here doing Taraweeh. They should have been. That's what the Rasul instructed them. Y'all want to do this? Do it at home. So, Taraweeh ain't nothing but Tahajjud during Ramadan instead of 2 rakats in excess of 4. So I've been doing my own Taraweeh, wait until up to the third parts of the night and stuff, where I get all the barakats. I also get the barakats of reciting it myself for each letter. Like some musaf where they had a letter gray and and then they might not pronounce this feta or this kesra at the very end of the ayat. I recite it all. I want them hasanats. I want them barakats for every single letter, vowel, shadda, everything. I want every last bit of it, because let's say because Ramadan the rewards double. So let's just say if it was money, right, and you could recite, and then when you understand like all the different mushafs, it ain't silent in every recitation. So let's say it's you recite 10 ayats, but at the end of the ayat it's a kesra at the end of every ayat. That's 10 of them, right? So you don't recite that kesra at the end of all 10 ayats. 10 hasanats, that's $10. On 10 ayats, that's $100 you done left. So if you looked at it that way, is you gonna get that $100, or is you gonna leave it? When Ramadan come, I'm gonna get it. Bismillah ta'ala. Because and then the rewards is multiplied during Ramadan. So I do it on my own. But to finish the story, I went out, to see, I'm gonna go ahead and pray with the brothers, you know what I'm saying? Because some people say if you want to do a sunnah, at least do the first 3 nights in Ramadan with the brothers, because the Rasul did do it 3 nights. Although that wasn't his intention, he allowed them to pray behind him for 3 nights. And due to him allowing them to pray behind him those 3 nights before he put a stop to it, Umar also used that fiqh to line them up. You see what I'm saying? Because the Rasul didn't say it wasn't permissible. Plus, I see the beauty of it now, because a lot of people can't recite on their own, so they need to pray behind somebody. So a lot of people in the masjids, they don't be hafids. They can't do Taraweeh if they want to do the whole Quran. Some of them should, if they got enough surahs or keep repeating them, they could. But the way we taught the deen is bonkers. But anyway, so when I go to pray with them, I'm watching these guys come out on the sidewalk, looking up in the sky like this. Some of their ways looking for the moon. I'm like, y'all should have just went with what was saying. And right now, it's a perfect example. I got a picture. The moon it's the second night moon, and they starting late. Whatever rulings you want to come up with, whatever twistings, this, that, and the third, hey, y'all day off, man. No ifs, ands, buts, or maybe. And if this was a trustworthy moon sighting place, whether y'all talking about the Chicago Hilal Community Committee, nobody know who it is, nobody know who runs the website, don't know nothing about them, and all these other groups, ISNA and all that, they were so trustworthy, they would have came out and said, we made a mistake. This is night 2. Y'all, everybody make up a day when Ramadan is over. And if we stop on 29 days and they stop with us, they only done did 28 days. If we complete a full 30 and they stop at 29, regardless, man, they still owe a day. But if they do fall off at 28, 29, 30 is sufficient for a month. Dangerous, man. So, man, we need to get it together, man, and learn the stuff we need to do, man. Start trusting those Sharia-based. Learn your hadiths, man. Learn Sahih, Hasan, Munkar, Da'if, What's a Athar? What's a different? What trumps what? Sahih trumps it all, man. Go with what's Sahih. It's unfortunate, man. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.